Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Hi everyone. Today is my very respect artist friend.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. My very
Okay.
respect artist friend, the Nicole, has come in the free talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very honorable thing for me, and I really appreciate. So, can I ask where is it? Like in your studio? Is that
Yeah.
what is that? In Brooklyn, right? So,
Yeah.
so how, how's going your day? I mean,
How's it going? It's like pretty chill so far, actually. Like I finished my work early yesterday that I thought I was gonna have to spend today working on as well. So it's like I have a whole day of doing whatever I want,
all right, great.
which is probably gonna be more work, but you know, we're moving forward.
Great,
So,
great. By the way, like, can I explain about like my like opinion about like last time you gave me the present from your vacation place. I'm just really appreciative about that stuff. Oh, the video and stuff.
okay.
Yeah. All right.
I'm back now.
All
Can you
right.
hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Just I want to say your like gift about the like chili pepper from Texas. No,
From
no,
Mexico?
yeah, no, not Texas, Mexico City. That was awesome.
What did I give you?
I mean, what did you give me?
Yeah.
The chili pepper and also the dish.
Oh, the chili pepper
Yeah,
you
chili
were
pepper
talking about. Did
and
you try it?
yeah. It was really great. I mean, like actually, there is not hot. There is the
Not
one
that
is
hot.
yeah. There is one reason I really love it. Not too hot. There is one, and two.
Yeah.
There is really deep taste inside.
Yes.
When you taste it, like after the deep taste is coming, so you can like feel and like read the logic taste inside. So I really love it. Yeah, I tried the Korean food,
So
Mexican
glad.
food, every food as you told, and everything really great much. Just grow up their natural taste and everything. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Thank you.
It has a different flavor. I don't know. It's a special kind of pepper called the hatch chili pepper.
All right.
And it's like from a certain specific farm out in Mexico. And it just, yeah, I fell in love with it. I became a chili addict, a hatch chili addict when I was out there.
All
Can't wait
right.
to get more New Mexico.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. So by the way, like I was going your like professor works like in
Oh, it's
university.
good.
It's good.
It's really good. Yeah, I really enjoy doing it
All right.
most of the time.
Mm.
But it's just like you learn so much, really, at least in my program, the students are so involved in the work and they're just the the pieces that they come up with are so crazy and weird and creative, and it's just inspiring because, like, when you're in school, you're in a totally different headspace and you're so experimental and anything goes, and you're just so focused on this concept and your thesis and exploring new avenues of all different thought patterns. And in most of our lives in the real world or whatever, it's very different. It's just a lot more rational minded. We explore a project just to get it done and for a deadline, and then we move on. But in grad school, like, it's like time is stopped and you're just so involved in this idea. So it just brings like a smile to my face to see what they come up with. It's very funny and weird. My students are very engaged this semester, so it's a good thing. They're almost too engaged.
All right.
They try to like control the class, so I have to tame them sometimes, but it's fun.
All right, great. How many like students you had, like, basically?
There's 12 in my class, which like doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is, especially when you critique everyone's project. And we have a 3-hour class period, but it's still not long enough, because really there's only about like 10 to 15 minutes per student.
All right.
So it's a lot, and I still don't remember all their names. Like, I've been a lot better in past semesters, and for some reason this semester I just like gave up remembering their names. Most of the students are Chinese as well, but they also go by
Their country.
yeah, American names. Most of them go by American names, but yeah, so then you have to like know.
I see.
I don't know. I just hopefully I'll know their names by the end of the semester. So.
And you like what is your major teaching about the like graphic design?
Yeah.
Design.
Yeah, it's like communications design.
Communication design.
They call it. Yeah.
Like,
But it's what people would consider graphic design.
it is also like inside your like there's something sentence about your like concept of design in Meta Modernism. That concept also inside.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was the same program that I studied in when I wrote my thesis on Meta Modernism.
All right.
So the program has changed a lot since then, but it's the same kind of stuff. Yeah, it's like studying communications design. It's very like experimental and also very research focused. And it's a 2-year program, and you're just really wrapped up in these heady concepts for 2 years of making and thinking and writing and discussing and speculating and ruminating and all the things. And then it ends and you're like, what the fuck do I do with myself now? But yeah, it's fun to be on the other end. Now I'm on the other end of that.
All right.
And they remind me a lot of myself when I was there, just so caught up in all the details of what
I see.
your because you're writing a thesis, so you're really discovering, you're just continually trying to discover, explore, create, and you're trying to get to a point where you discuss and you argue for something.
All right.
So you're spending 2 years just continually trying to, you're like an investigator almost. You're like a undercover detective
All right.
trying to figure out what this thing is about.
I see.
Yeah. And then you get there and then it ends.
I see. I see. Like, by the way, like, this is just, like, maybe it's not related about your art or concept or whatever. Because so yesterday my Japanese friend like text me like, "Are you okay in New York? Like New York is right now is like dangerous situation right now." He say like maybe he saw something like I don't know like right news or fake news in like Japan like in there are some people say like Russia like they're gonna shot or like nuclear missile or to like New York or like something like they announce or and like in New York they announced something like video about how like escape to like what is that the radio name what is that the nuclear like chemical thing and like which
Wait,
like
really?
yeah and like they are like they say they attach that kind of poster in the subways around but I have never seen that so
No.
yeah you never hear right yeah because
No, I
yeah
didn't hear about anything like that,
yeah
but
even I meet yesterday like like in
I'm not the most
like your other
informed
friend they
person.
never talk about that kind of so that's why because I'm not see the like I'm not aware see the news or broadcast so that's why maybe I'm like lack of that kind of news so that's why I'm asking like is this real like so that's why so anyway so yeah so
Could be fake news.
so
No.
okay, like to talk about how we met is like always I told like like I bought your like graduate the score or what is that the sentence about the what is meta modernism and what is the graphic design is meta modernism so I really shocked about that like title and sentence and what is meta modernism meaning so that is how we met like 5 or 6 years before yeah so uh so can I ask about like how you met that word and why you really interested about that kind of topic in the first
About meta modernism.
yeah
Yeah, it was like a shock to me because I went into that program. I mean, it was what I studied in graduate school and wrote my thesis on, but I went into the program thinking I'm going to study like activist design, transformation design, and like I was really interested in that for a while in undergrad, and then I started studying it and realized like it's kind of bullshit. Like people are doing, kind of like kind of be what I don't know another word for it, but like activists, like a socially responsible person, and how design helps that, how design can help the world, change the world, blah blah blah. Like you know, so I was basically trying to explore that, maybe not in a big way, but so I'm gonna wait for these sirens. yeah, I was trying to explore like the different ways, subtle ways you could, help people, help any kind of issues with design. And I just kind of like gave up, and because I'm like, this is kind of pretentious, and why do I don't know, whatever. That's a whole story for another day. But what occurred to me was like in that study of trying to help issues, you have to study what are the issues. And for me, there was this narrative of like, well, there's like all these crazy issues right now. There's all these, kind of what they call like wicked problems, like conundrums in society. Like, there's this renaissance in technology happening right now, yet there's like the biggest world catastrophes going on.
Yeah.
And that being the main thread. And so looking at that from a minute level, from a level of like people's individual psychology as well, like, and how that's contributing to these problems. I realized this is a historical study for me. Like, this is a historical thing. And, this is what's going on. Like, I need to study contemporary society right now. It just like became an interest in what's going on in this kind of phase in culture right now in history. So Meta Modernism we had a reading on it in one of my classes, and then we didn't really talk about it too much. But then I read it a few months later in an Adbusters magazine. They had an article on it too, and I was like, and then it just hit me, and it was the same thing that happened to you too, Seungjin. You were like, like, this is the sensibility. This is describing something that I've felt, like these polar opposites coexisting with each other.
Yeah, right.
In culture, in art, in human psychology right now, these like weird opposites that are like trying to coexist and feed off of each other right now. And so it's just like I read it again, and it just described so perfectly like what I felt culture to be.
Yeah.
And I just kept studying. It became like an obsession. And then some people would say like unhealthy obsession, but it's fine. And I like, yeah, that's basically the gist of it. I just kept on trying to study too, like more and more. What is this sensibility, and where does it show up, and how does it manifest? And trying to gather all these examples of it in real life. Like I would go to parties and like, just observe and have conversations with people, and then write it down later. Like, I don't know. And in the end, I think just having that concept being articulated was the most powerful thing. I think you can keep studying and grasping examples for it, and that's really stimulating. But I think just having awareness that this is going on, it helps you justify what's going on, and what also, like, as artists, what we're doing as artists.
Yeah.
Like saying, like, especially having gravitating towards like such different ideas and styles and mediums and whatever. Okay, like there's a reason for that, and I can connect that to worldly events, like of why my interests are gravitating towards all these different areas. It's because of, you know, it's because of everything in this historical moment in time. So yeah.
I see. Like, how do you think, like, in our like future or like from now on, how like our world is gonna change, or like what is the next about Meta Modernism, and how our creation thing and how our artwork and like artist itself is gonna be changed, or what should we do, or how do you think? Like,
I don't know. I've been kind of speculating there's like another wave of like more modernism after this. But I actually think there's gonna be a lot of like people like breaks in our society. I think there's gonna be a lot of like, I think like Brexit was the first, it's like the first case study for really what is gonna define the new cultural theory, I guess. Like, because I just see like, and then you see with 2020, like all of the chaos that happened, all the fighting, and people literally like nobody has resolved. Like people are just so strong in their beliefs that are so separate. And really, I think at the end of the day, the solution is like, and that we find from Meta Modernism too, like there's no hierarchy, there's no linear hierarchy, right? And like, so at the end of the day, you can't say my belief is better than your belief. Like, you know, there's arguments for both, really. And I think people, I think the solution is going to be people breaking out into different spaces and times and ways of living that are completely different, like on this earth, by belief system, not just by culture. Like I see like our cultures are cross-pollinating so much because of the internet, because of travel, like etc. So it's not going to even be about, you know, I guess traditionally how we were broken up by just location or by religious values or whatever. There's going to be new, I guess, new ways and standards that define how we choose to,
I see.
you know, form societies. And there's going to be like this new kinds of societies that are coexisting but separate. I don't think it's just, I mean, it sounds kind of sad, but I don't think it's, I think it's for the best, really. You know?
I think, like, I mean,
for now, at least.
Yeah, like for my opinion, like, you know, like as you say, like especially nowadays, to technology and to like information method, like how hyper internet, like inform. So that's why, you know, like every people's like philosophy or passion or like reason thing is like, you know, like cross each other. And sometimes there's like, it's really hard to find like what is right answer and what is right reason. Like,
right.
Yeah. So in like a lot of like fiction, you know, like manga, anime, or like movie, or like writing, or like psychologists, like whatever, like people talking about in the future is seeing like that some point of like we like catch up that kind of like phenomenon in the society is like one is a way is through our body, you know. So for example, like it's like a Matrix movie, you know, like put some cable in your brain and you're gonna go to like like internet or data system to your body. You know, it's mean you don't need to have your like physical body system and just go
Yeah,
mind. Yeah, it's the like
yeah,
soul. Yeah, so it's mean
that
you don't.
scares me though.
Yeah, I will really scared thing, but it's mean you don't need to care about your physical like body or about limit. You know, like yeah, body is good or physical, but some point that logical means like physical or your like personality or character is like some kind like block to open to your other people like other inform or like societies like you know, so like it's limit only you like some point they saying you know in a lot of like creation thing. And
Yeah,
yeah, and I also like think about like so for example even nowadays internet also like open to people's mind to like outside. I mean the internet is basically made this it's the like digital signal, right? Like 0 or 1, whatever. So, but
yeah,
yeah, the electric system, like digital system, but that everything is also exists in the ancient and in human history. But in ancient people, they know about their exist, but they don't know how to control and how to like what is meaning about like electric or data system. So in whatever Asian people, like even Western Asian, like a lot of like different country people like explain that kind of thing like as ghost or myth or you know like a lot of sentence I think. But nowadays we can understand that is the like electric and that is the data and we can how to control so we make an internet so it's like the internet is the like a spiritual thing for the like ancient people. They cannot like understand, you know, like nowadays we can, you know, like talk each other or like through conversation like this today's Zoom is really magical thing for like ancient people. So I think so so I think the like people like fight each other or like opinions like cross is like some I don't know like some point about now internet society about the something new program for humanity. So how to like go off state to other parties, I think just I don't know like relate the new technology about the next internet system or like just you know we can make strong more our like spiritual mind for ourselves you know doing like spiritualism you know more like body and mind and spiritual like connect each other like a Buddhism you know like
yeah.
I don't know like
Well, I think kind of like that's what I was saying before. Like, I think people are gonna have different opinions about it and are gonna gravitate towards different things and have different beliefs about what should be done with our technologies that we have and our natural selves. And in that, I don't think there's going to be a decision that's ever made. Like, I think we're going to end up breaking out into colonies where we believe, where those who believe the same thing, you know, form a commune with other people. But regardless, I think these questions that we have are never going to get resolved in one way. I think that's the point, and especially coming out of the meta modernist era, you know, where there's no hierarchy, where there's no one resolution. That is one particular type of technological future.
Yeah. So
That's what I
like how this like what is your next vision about what like do like for example like we are right now planning about like performance show and like exhibition soon, right? So
yeah.
can I ask just a little tiny point about what do you want to explain next show? Or I'm just curious.
Oh, what I'm gonna do for
Yeah,
my
yeah.
stuff in that show? I'm probably gonna do some music actually.
All right.
Well, for my I've for my art show, I was gonna do an installation that was like videos and writings I had made like in the mountains when I was traveling, and
Oh, great.
just as like yeah, the because that's just like what I was doing, I guess. And I was like, I just want to form this together and make a nice little piece. And then the music stuff, like, I've been working on that for years, and I never really performed it or showed it to the public because I don't really know why. I was just like working on it and I was doing other stuff. And so I feel like, and also I really have had bad burnout from the computer screen
Hmm.
for a while now. So that's why, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm still doing skits, like I'm still writing skits and the same kind of performances that I did,
Hmm.
but I just feel like changing it up right now.
All
I feel
right.
like doing something different. Yeah.
All right. So like so at least you have a really good, like I would say you got a great experience or like you got a great I don't know like point about I mean you got good information about like last time your vacation for making new work, right?
Yeah.
In New Mexico, right?
Yeah.
So
I yeah.
like I really also interested about like your experience in the New Mexico and like in this art and like have a like trying to living with like ancient people living star in nature. So
Yeah.
like could you tell me about that story? I'm just like interested about like how you change like is like what did you get from that and what is cool in vacation and what is totally different in like New
Yeah.
York's like capitalist system and their nature like society and
Oh
like
my God, I could go on and on. And it's crazy coming back here because it's really hard for me to not be cynical and like a negative outlook of New York City. It's really hard for me, like especially when I talk to other people, like I'm trying to be positive, but really just all I feel, I see these buildings and I just that's exactly what I think. Like, oh my God, capitalist society, like what have we done? Like it's I just have a repulsion towards it right now. Of course, this is like, yeah, something that we all know, like the negative um, output of industrialism, but yeah, it's just really affecting me right now. But when I was there, I would say like mainly there was more space, and that space I felt um, I felt expanded, and I felt like my my mind and my body could continually keep expanding, like
oh wow
its
really
potential.
mm,
Yeah, and like on every level, like physical, emotional, spiritual, psychological, just on every level, I felt I could keep expanding. And every day, the interesting thing to me, when I was little, I kept a journal. I would at night write a lot about like what I in the sky or in my surroundings. I gone back and read my journal when I was a child, and then realized oh, can you hear me? We're breaking up.
Yeah. Give me a second. This Zoom is gonna be at 1 minute. Can I resend the other link?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
have to get my charger anyway.
All right, got it.
So, all right.
All right.
Dennis. Yeah.